I have the great fortune, and I'm very grateful that I get to wear two very distinct hats in my career. One as a real estate investment fund manager, and two, as a part-time endodontist. A lot of people ask me, what does a fund manager actually do? Well, I thought this video would be fun. I'm gonna break down a day in the life of a real estate fund manager. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Jonny Walker, aka Jonny Withananchi. This is the Walk of Wealth. If you're here, thank you for being here. The type of people that we attract to this show are people that are successful, and they're driven by a passion that we all share for financial freedom. Even as successful business owners or successful dentists, or just any person that's out there. I know we have a lot of subscribers that are not dentists. We're all trying to get better. We're all trying to build the fundamentals, build the skills so that we can build true wealth. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about learning how to invest passively in things that provide cash flow, and we can build that cash flow to the point that it exceeds our monthly expenses. And this is what we call financial freedom. Investing heavily in real estate has allowed me to take a giant step back from my clinical practice, where I used to work 45 hours a week, spend enormous amounts of time with my children, travel the world with beautiful exotic vacations, and truly spend time pursuing passions that I enjoy and bring me fulfillment, which is serving others, like in the realms of dentistry and in the realms of teaching my fellow dentists and associates on how they too can achieve financial freedom through real estate. All right, let's get right into today's topic. So my day started last Friday at 7 a.m., right? I wake up, I meditate for 5 minutes. Then I get downstairs. Mostly my wife does most of the stuff, I'll be honest. She'd get them ready for school in terms of packing lunches and all that. But I'm there assisting, getting them ready, and then out the door. And then I have the opportunity now to drop them at school as well. I never used to have to do that because I'd be working so much. So now I drop them off at school, come home, jump on the Peloton. I never used to use the Peloton ever. This is my wife's exercise bike. I'm like, hey, it's sitting there, and I'm like, hey, it's actually pretty kind of cool with these classes and stuff, so I do Peloton. Then I'll go and work out, lift some weights, and by that time, I don't eat breakfast until noon. I only eat between the hours of 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. I try to do this intermittent fasting thing. So I don't eat breakfast. After that, I shower, and I get ready for the day. I have my first call at 10 a.m. My first real estate duties is I have a call with a potential investor, someone who's scheduled a call. This happened to be a dentist with 3 kids, and she was divorced recently. She had built up some equity in her practice, and she was looking to sell and start investing for passive income. What was important for her was her children and making sure they're taken care of, as well as giving her an avenue to start stepping back from dentistry and spend more time with her children. That call was from 10 to 10:30. Immediately after that, at 10:30, I jumped on another call, which is another investor, from 10:30 to 11. He was a doctor that was very profound at placing implants and had built a business doing full mouth restorations with implants. And he had built a booming business, lots of cash flow. Up until that point, he hadn't made any investments except into his business. He kept growing that into a monster, and finally he's got some extra capital that he's trying to deploy and start building some wealth outside of his dental practice. At about 11:15, 11:20, I started reviewing the Q3, the quarter 3 reports from a couple of the deals that we've done previously. As these quarterly reports come, we have more and more deals that we've done, and asset management is staying on top of these type of detail. This is kind of what I spent 45 minutes doing. I went over 2 separate Q3 reports in detail, looked at them, seen how everything was going, send some pertinent follow-up email correspondence with the sponsor. Then at 12 p.m., go back to back here, from 12 to 2 p.m. every Friday, we have our fund managers meeting. Now, what we do in our fund managers meeting, there's about 35 to 37 very savvy real estate fund managers. Now, these are people that do very much the same thing that I do for my group and my followers and investors. This allows us to put all of our knowledge, our experiences, as well as any deals that we know about, we get to put it all together. We trade industry notes, we're the group where we trust each other, we share information, as well as get very great real-time pertinent information. And then we open up a room called a deal desk, right? Our deal desk is where different operators will come and basically pitch themselves. They'll pitch their company, and then they'll pitch the real estate deal that they're looking to raise capital. Now, we as a group, we'll see 2 different presenters each week. So now what we do is we listen with great earnest and with very scrutinizing ears and eyes. We listen to their deal. And all 35 of us are looking at them and saying, we got a question about this and a question about that. Think about the show Shark Tank, right? Where you have 5 sharks and the guys will come and pitch their business ideas, and the sharks will either A, yes, we'll fund this deal, or B, no, we won't. That's very similar to that, except now there's 35 of us instead of just 5. After they've presented, we ask them our questions. They leave the meeting, and then the fund managers, we get together and we talk internally about the deals, what we thought about it, what our initial impressions were, what our further due diligence that we need to do. And then we make a vote on it. We vote and we say, hey, look, yes, we want this deal, or no, we don't. I'm not going to go too much detail into that. I'm going to do another video talking about our process exactly. Now, that's a couple hours call. From there, I'm going to take a little break, right? I've been working directly straight. And this is when I eat breakfast. So I break my fast. I usually do it around noon. On this particular day, I did it at about 2 p.m. And at 3 p.m., right back at it. 3 to about 4 p.m., I recorded a webinar series. It was a lecture series that I was putting together to present to a group of dentists. I recorded a bunch of content, investor-related stuff, how to analyze properties, et cetera, et cetera. And then 4 o'clock runs along and I jump on my very last call of the day. This is a deal that I was also a co-GP, or I'm part of the general partnership. And I spoke with the lead general partner, the principal of that deal. And we basically went over a couple of our current investments, right? So we talked about the business plan, what we envision. So I got to really understand the assets at a very high level from an exceptionally smart operator. So again, I had great gratitude for that call. That call lasted about 30 to 40 minutes. And at that point, I called it end of the day. 4:40 p.m. I went, and my children had just came home from school, and then I went with a bike ride for them, right? We packed the bikes on the back on the bike rack that I bought recently. I learned recently about some bike paths around our house, and we went for a bike ride. I went on to dinner, and that was kind of the end of the day from the fund manager side of it. But what I want to draw attention to here is that it's a great day for me. Right? I got to feed my mind, body, spirit, financial side of it, business side, as well as relationships. I spent time with my children and my wife. For all of us that are really driven by success and goals and smashing our goals and trying to accomplish unimaginable goals like dreamers, sometimes we have a tendency to get way over to one side, right? We get too extreme and we tend to neglect other parts of our life when we're chasing. So it's very important to try to always keep in perspective why we're doing something, right? And set the proper guardrails so that, yes, we need to sometimes stretch and we need to push ourselves a little bit sometimes, but we never want to go too far to the point that we're compromising the things that really matter for us. All right, guys, hope you got a ton of value from that. If you did, smash the like button, share this with somebody who can get a lot of value, and click on the next video where we're going to talk about more wealth building tips.